In this video, I'm going to show you how we can build an AI voice agent for barbershops that can handle bookings, reschedule them, and also send confirmations via WhatsApp. All of this is going to be done on Vapi and NHN, and I'm going to take you through step by step exactly how to build this so you can start selling it to your clients. If you don't know who I am, my name is Folu. I run WorkReady AI, and I've scaled my AI agency to over 100k per month, helping over 50 real estate companies automate their workflows. So let's get straight into this video. Okay, so to kick things off, let's give this AI agent a call, and as you can see, I have N8N open over here. We should see this trigger whenever the AI agent has collected enough information to book us in for a haircut. So I'm going to give this a call right now.
Hello.
Hi, can I book a skin fade, please?
Of course. What's your first name?
My name is Bob.
Thanks, Bob. What's your phone number?
It's 353-83-314-5786.
Got it, Bob. What date and time would you like to book your skin fade for?
Can we do it for next Friday at 2 p.m.?
Just to confirm, that's Friday, November 7th at 2 p.m. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, give me a second while I get you set up. All set, Bob. You're booked for a skin fade on November 7th at 2 p.m. You'll get a WhatsApp confirmation shortly. See you then.
Okay, so we see that the AI agent ran perfectly. It done all of the information that I needed to do extremely quickly. Then it came over here to WhatsApp, and we received our confirmation over here saying, hi Bob, your booking for a skin fade is confirmed for, as you can see, next Friday at 2 p.m. See you at the fade house. So it's able to do the full process of handling bookings. You can also reschedule that booking. So if I called back again and I wanted to reschedule, it would change out the booking. And it's also able to send us reminders on WhatsApp. And we're going to get into exactly how to build this. So the first thing we need to do is we need to come over here to Vapi to actually build the base of this AI agent, and it's actually quite quick as to how you can get this set up. So the first thing you need to do as you come over here when you sign in is come up here, press create an assistant, and use a blank template. Obviously give it the name that you want, maybe call it Fade House, and then we can press create an assistant. After you create that assistant, you will be brought to a page like this in where you have to configure your AI voice agent. Now for us, we have all of kind of the basic settings as they seem to work completely fine. So I'm using OpenAI and I'm using GPT-4 on mini cluster. So if you come in here, you can see it's the quickest one. It's also the cheapest. So we're going to use GPT-4 on mini, and then we are going to ask the assistant to speak first. So whenever somebody calls this AI agent, we want the assistant to speak first. When it answers, we want the first message to be, hello, this is Fade House, and then we can say, how can I help you? So that's the first message that is going to be said whenever this assistant picks up the call, and we can leave it at that. You can change it to whatever you want, but this seems to be fine. Now in the system prompt, this is where we give this voice agent essentially its personality and the instructions that we want it to follow. So as you can see in here, we have the full prompt. I'm going to leave this down below so you can just copy and paste it. I'll leave it in the second link below. As you can see here, we say, Vapi voice agent system message: you are a friendly and efficient barbershop receptionist handling booking and rescheduling calls. Your core behavior is to speak naturally and briefly. Keep your tone confident, friendly, and human, like someone answering phones at a local barbershop. Collect these details one question at a time. First thing we need is the name. We need a phone number. We need the type of service, so like skin fade or a beard trim, and then we need the preferred date and time for their booking. Important conversation rules is to ask one question at a time, always end with a question and stop talking, never interrupt or talk over the user, and don't check availability, assume any requested time works. Now obviously in a real life scenario we can change this so it checks the actual calendar, but for us, because this barbershop isn't necessarily busy, we can just take all bookings as there's more than one barber in this barbershop. Then down here we say after receiving the tool result, so after N8N has completed and it sends back the result from the tool call, we're going to say if successful, and it says all set name, you're booked for your service at date and time, you'll get a WhatsApp confirmation shortly, see you then. And then if it fails, say this. Then down here we give it some last kind of closing notes as what not to do. which is just these things here. And then we give it a very basic example flow on kind of how to take the conversation, because when you give it an example, it really narrows it down into how to handle conversations. Now, if we were to leave this out, it would still handle a conversation, but it gives it a lot more reason to fail, or it gives it a lot more likelihood of it doing something that we don't want it to do. So that's why we give it the example here. And then down here we say today's date is, and then we say double brackets now, so it knows exactly what date it is today. As if we left this out, then AI for some reason has really bad time management, or it doesn't know what time it is. So if we left this out, it would pick some time in 2023, which would mess up the whole booking system. So we say today's date is, and then we do this double bracket now. And then we say take this into account for the user's booking date and time. When a user says tomorrow or next week, calculate the exact date based on today's date above. Now that's basically the full prompt done, and we're nearly finished over here in Vapi. The last thing we need to do is we need to come down here to where it says voice configuration, and we're going to select Vapi Elliot. You can choose kind of whatever voice you want. You can choose maybe a voice from 11 Labs, but the Vapi ones seem to be, to me, some of the most realistic. It's either between Vapi or 11 Labs for the most realistic voice. And then the last thing to completely finish off the voice agent prompting is over here we're going to use DeepGram, and we're going to use Flux General English. Now, after we have completed kind of the initial setup, we need to come over here and we need to create a tool. So we're going to come over here to where it says tools, and I'm going to create a new tool, and I'm going to give that tool a name. So for me, I've called the tool Barber Booking Tool. For the description of our tool, we say handles both new haircut bookings and appointment schedules for Fade House Barbershop. This tool is designed to be flexible enough to create new bookings, update existing ones, and trigger WhatsApp confirmations after successful actions. Then down here, we give it everything we need to send over. I'll go through that in a minute. But the most important part here is we give it a webhook URL. The reason we give it a webhook URL is because this is how we are going to trigger N8N. This is going to be our connection from the Vapi assistant, like all of that prompting that we just created, and N8N. So this is going to be that connecting piece. And this URL is essentially how we connect it. Now, we'll go through that over in N8N. But just up here in parameters, we need to create all of these parameters to send over to the AI agent in N8N. And to create them, we're going to come over here, press add property. And you can see when you add a property, you need to give it a name and a description. That's it. Now, for the ones that we've created, we've created one called name. And that's where we send over the user's name. And the description is customer's first name. So we just essentially tell the AI what we wanted to send it over. And then we also have one called number, where we say customer's phone number in international format, example, then we give it an example, and then we say used to locate or confirm bookings and to send WhatsApp messages. Then the next thing we have is action type. So because we can either book or reschedule, we give it this parameter and we say this defines the action type must be either book or reschedule. And that's going to send it over to N8N, so N8N will know exactly what the AI agent needs to do. Then we also have booking date, which is just the appointment date that the user has asked for. Also booking time down here, which again is just a appointment time in this format. And we also have the service type, so if it's skin fade, beard, etc., we essentially give it all of the information about it over here. So that's what we do for the parameters. And then down here, we give it this service URL, or the server URL. And to get that, we're going to come over here to N8N and we're going to set up this workflow. Now in this workflow, we need to firstly set up a webhook. So this is the first node that we need to do. And to get this webhook, we're going to come over here and just look up webhook, and we will select webhook. Now when you select webhook, you'll open it and you'll be met with a page like this, in where we have our test URL and a production URL. Now because we are only testing this right now, I'm going to use the test URL. I'm going to bring it over here to Vapi, and I'm going to place it in here, and I'm going to click save. And now this tool is ready to be used, and it essentially connects N8N to this Vapi assistant. So as we connect that URL, I'm going to come back over to my assistant. I'm going to come over here to where it says tools, and I'm going to connect that tool that we just made. So you can see all of my tools here. I'm going to connect the one with the name of the one that we just made. I'll connect that. I'll click publish. And then we can talk to this assistant, and whenever we need to trigger any tools, it's going to trigger the tool based on what we say in the prompt. So you can see here in the tool usage, like I went through previously, we're going to immediately trigger this tool whenever somebody wants to book an appointment or reschedule an appointment. So that prompt now knows, okay, I have access to a tool and this is when I trigger it. Now, whenever we're on a call and we trigger the tool, it's going to trigger this workflow over here by this webhook. And we've obviously given it this URL, so it knows exactly how to trigger it. Now, whenever we are in a production environment, so whenever we go live or whenever we deploy this for a customer, we're going to swap out that test URL for a production URL. And we can copy this and bring it back over and just put it in the same spot over here in the tools section. So in the tools, I'll come back in here and I'll change it out with this one here. But for now, it's fine to just use the test URL. So when we trigger the webhook, it's listening for something. And when we trigger that webhook, it will send us over all of this information here. Now, this header section, we can just close that because we will never use that. The thing we are most concerned about is this section down here, which is the tool calls and the body of the tool. So you can see here, we have all of the parameters that we've just set up, and we have what the AI has sent over to us. So we have the person's name, their number, the action type is to book an appointment, the booking date, the service type, and the booking time. So we have all the information we need to pass over to this AI agent so it can do the actual action for us. So if we come in here, you can see we have a prompt, which is a user message, and a system prompt. This user message will be all of the dynamic variables, so like the person's name, their booking times, etc. We'll put all of that in here. So as you can see here, we just have action type, which we get from over here from the webhook. So if we scroll down here, you can see we have action type right here, in which we can just drag and drop into here. So if I drop that there, you can see it just drops everything in. So you'll do that for action type, you'll do it for name, where you'll come down here, drag the name in, and so on. So you'll do it for the number, the booking date, booking time, and also the service type. So you just type this out and then drag over the corresponding variable. After we drag that over, then we give it a system message, and this is essentially like what we did over in Vapi. This is giving this AI agent the personality and the direct instructions on what to do with that data that we've just given it. So down here we have the system message. In this system message, we say you are a back-end automation AI for Fade House Barbershop. You do not talk to customers directly. You receive structured booking and rescheduling information from a voice agent and take the correct back-end action using connected tools. Your job is to process the requests, update bookings in Google Sheets, and send WhatsApp confirmations, and output one short plain text summary describing what happened. Then we tell it about the tools that it can use. So you can use the Get Current Bookings, which will read all the current bookings from a Google Sheet. You can update current bookings, which will update an existing booking in the Google Sheet by matching the phone number. You can also send confirmation messages, which will send a WhatsApp confirmation to the user. This requires the user's phone number and a message body. Then we say what to do. Whenever we get a new booking from Vapi, we say create a booking for the requested date and time immediately. No availability check required. After successful booking, use the send confirmation message where we say, hey name, your booking for service type is confirmed for booking date, booking time. See you at the Fade House. Output a quick summary back to Vapi saying the new booking has been created for name, booking date, booking time, and WhatsApp confirmation has been sent. So now Vapi knows that the back end has been successful. We also give it the instructions on what to do when somebody wants to reschedule an appointment. We say use Get Current Bookings to find the user's existing booking by phone number. If found, update the current bookings with their new phone number and their new time. And this will update the existing row, not create a new one. We tell it what to do whenever somebody wants to reschedule, which it will essentially go to the table, find the user's booking, and just change the time. Then down here we just give it some more information, like if there's missing details, how to error handle, and then we say response rules. So this response is what it's going to send back to Vapi, and we say output only plain text, always describe what action was taken and whether WhatsApp was sent. Then we say we give it some output examples, like if there's a new booking created, if the booking has been updated, if there is no existing booking found for this number, or if we are waiting confirmation before updating booking. So the goal for this whole AI agent is to act as a back-end automation controller, create or update bookings in Google Sheets, matching the phone number for updates, and send WhatsApp confirmations, then report what happened clearly and briefly. That's essentially going to be the brain to this AI agent. Now, with this AI agent, we need to create a chat model. So when we're creating a chat model, I'll use Gemini, as you can see over here, and I use Gemini 2.5 Flash Lite. The reason I use 2.5 Flash Lite is is because it's by far the quickest model that you can use for scenarios like this AI agent where there is some complex reasoning going on, like whether to reschedule or whether to book them in and send them messages, etc. And when we are using a live voice call, we always want it to be quick so the user is not waiting like a couple of minutes on the call to wait for this AI agent to finish. So we always need to use the quickest model that we can, and that's why I use Gemini 2.5 Flashlight. So when you connect that up, then that's going to be the brain for this AI agent. Then we need to give it access to 3 tools. We need to give it access to the Google Sheets tool, which will get all of the bookings. We need to give it access to another Google Sheet tool, which will update any current bookings. And we need to give it access to WhatsApp. So firstly, let's start off by creating a Google Sheet where we give it the name Barber Bookings, and we give it these columns, which is name, number, booking type, and booking date and time. So you can see over here, we have some template data from the call that we just made, the person's name, their number, the booking type that they've requested, and the time and date of the booking. So that's essentially all we need in this table. And then we can come back over here to Vapi, and as we are adding a new tool, so if I come down here and I want to add Google Sheets again, I will come over here, I'll search up Google Sheets tool, and then down here I will select document, I'll choose from a list, and I will choose Barber Bookings. And then for the sheet, I'll just use sheet number 1 as there's only one sheet. And then up here is where you can change what we actually needed to do. So I'll delete this one, and you can see over here for the first one, this one is just to get all of the current time. So up here, it's again the same where we keep all of this the same. For the resource, we choose sheet within a document, which will essentially go and find. And for the operation, we'll choose get rows. And in this get rows, it's essentially going to return all of these, so we know if the user has been booked in before, if we need to change their number, etc., or if we need to change their time, then we can find their information in this table. So we use get rows, and then down here from the document, we choose from a list, we choose the actual Google Sheet, and then from the sheet name, we choose the sheet number 1. Then down here, we can keep all of this blank, and this is essentially going to return all of the sheets or all of the rows within that Google Sheet, so we know who's in there, who's already booked, etc. Now for the other one, we need to update current bookings and time. So this one has access to actually change this Google Sheet. So for example, if John called back and he wanted to change his time from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m, then the next node that we're going to make is actually going to have the ability to come in here and change this time for John. So for this node, we're going to use the update current booking. So again, you're going to choose Google Sheets up here, connected up to the tool section, and except in this one, instead of get rows, so previously we used this one, which was get rows. Next, we're going to use this one, which is update row. In this update row, again, select Barber Bookings table, and we are going to use sheet number 1. We're going to select map each column manually, and then we're going to use column to match on is the user's number. So this is essentially how it's going to find if the user is in this table. It's going to take the number that we get from Vapi, and it's going to throw it in here to try and find the number in the Google Sheet. Now for the rest of the stuff down here, so for all of the tables in our Google Sheet, or for all of the columns in our Google Sheet, we're just going to select let AI define them. So AI is going to decide what it needs to change and what it needs to update for each of these rows. So for the number, for the name, for the booking type, and the booking date and time, AI is going to decide if it needs to change it, and if it does, what's going to go into these new sections. Then we have the 2 Google Sheet nodes connected, and the last node that we need to connect to this AI agent is a send confirmation message, which is essentially going to send a WhatsApp to the user to let them know that they have booked in for the viewing. Now, to connect up to WhatsApp, to connect your WhatsApp to actually N8N, you can see I have a connection here. In order to connect to N8N, it's a kind of longer process, which I don't want to put in this video, so I'll leave it in the top right section of this video. So you can just click that, follow that, and you'll be able to quickly connect your WhatsApp to N8N. But after you have your connection made, then you're going to connect a new tool down here, and it's going to be a WhatsApp tool, WhatsApp Business Cloud, and we're going to select a message tool, and it's going to be send. So after we have that set up, then in that tool, after we have it as send, then we're going to choose the number ID, which is here, which again you'll get from the previous video of the instructions on how to connect to WhatsApp, which I've already made. After you get your number ID, then you put in here the recipient's number ID. You'll get that from over here, where Vapi will send over the recipient's name. So the person that's calling, Vapi is going to send over their phone number, and we can use that in here, or we can either let AI decide. So for us, we're going to let AI decide, and that should know that whenever Vapi gives us a number, that we can use it in here to send them a message. Also down here in the text body, so what we actually want to send over to this user, I'm going to again let AI decide what to send over to this person. After that's all connected, then we can click save. And the last node that we need is a respond to webhook. So after Vapi triggers this AI agent is going to go ahead, do all of that work. So it's going to find any current bookings, it can update the table, and it can send over a confirmation. After all of that is done, then we need to let Vapi know what has been done and that it has been successful. So we use a respond to webhook, which we can come over here, search up respond to webhook. And in this webhook, we're going to give it this right here. So we're going to type this out. Again, I'll leave this down below in the description where you can just download a sheet and it will have all of this information in it. But we need to type out this, which is the result, and we use a bracket, curly bracket, tool call ID, and we need to get the tool call ID in which we'll get from the initial webhook. So we'll come over here, we'll close these headers, and we'll come over here to where it says tool calls, and we'll select this first one here, which is tool call ID. We'll bring that over and we'll drop it in here for tool calls. And then for the result, we're just going to choose the AI agent. So whatever the AI agent says, we're going to bring that over and we're going to drop it in here. So I'll show you exactly how to do it. We'll get rid of this. And then whatever the AI says, so you can see an example here is new booking created for Bob 2025 at 2 p.m. WhatsApp confirmation has been sent. So in order to send that back to Vapi, we're going to bring that down. We're going to throw that in here, and now Vapi is going to have access. And the last thing, just quickly before we finish up here, is we are going to come over here, and for this initial webhook, it will typically be set as immediately, so it will respond to Vapi immediately, and Vapi won't know what exactly happened. The response type is going to be respond to webhook node. We can go over here and we can give it one more test where we can see it booking us in for an appointment. Let's come over here to this table and let's get rid of all of these rows that we have. Okay, so to test this out.
Hello, this is Fade House. How can I help you?
Hi, can I book a skin fade for tomorrow at 2 p.m.?
Of course. What's your first name?
My name is John.
Thanks, John. Can you please provide your phone number in international format?
Yeah, it's +353 83314 5789.
Great. What service would you like to book?
A skin fade, please.
Thanks for confirming. What time works for you?
2 p.m. tomorrow, if that's available.
Just to confirm, you mean 2 p.m. tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, give me a second while I get you set up. All set, John. You're booked for a skin fade on October 30th at 2 p.m. You'll get a WhatsApp confirmation shortly. See you then.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we seen it was able to book us in, no problem. It sent me over a WhatsApp confirmation, and it should have stored me over here in the Google Sheets. Okay, so one thing we need to change, because as we seen there, it was able to book us in. It sent me over the WhatsApp message, but you can see that this Google Sheets is empty. It didn't actually put me into the Google Sheet, and the reason is because update over here we have the actual Google Sheets module as to only update current bookings. So it's able to find all of the bookings, this is essentially just read only, so it'll just return all the bookings. But when we want to take action, it can only update. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change it from only update, and I'm going to change it to append or update, so we can create a new one or update one. And the reason it didn't put me on is because it needed to create a new one. So we're going to change that to append or update. Everything else is going to stay the same, and now we should be able to test it out again. So we'll trigger this. We should be able to test it out again, and it should add me to the Google Sheet.
Hello, this is Fade House. How can I help you?
Hi, can I book a viewing? Can I book a skin fade for tomorrow at 2 p.m.? My name is John, and my phone number is +353 83314 5789.
Thanks, John. Just to confirm, you're looking for a skin fade for tomorrow at 2 p.m., right?
Yep.
Okay, give me a second while I get you set up. All set, John. You're booked.
Okay, so it did everything we needed, and you can see it has now added me into here. Now, what if John calls back and he needs to change his time from 2 p.m. over here until 3 p.m. So let's give it a call again, and because we have it as append or update, it should be able to update that time and find us a new slot. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to execute this again. I'm going to come back over here to Vapi and give it another call.
Hello, this is Fade House. How can I help you?
Hi, could you update a booking for me, please? I need to change time. I don't have time for the scheduled one.
Of course. What's your first name and phone number?
My name is John, and my number is 353-83-314-5789.
Thanks, John. What new time works for you?
Can we change it to 3 p.m. please, on the same day?
Great. What service was this for?
It was for a skin fade.
Okay, give me a second while I get you set up. All set, John. Your skin fade is now rescheduled for tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Okay, so we can see the AI agent came in here and changed it from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Kept all the same details for John, which is perfect. And if we come over here to WhatsApp, it sent John, "Hi John, your appointment has been moved to 3 p.m. You'll get a reminder closer to the time." So it has done everything perfectly for us, and this is extremely valuable to most businesses, not just barbershops. It can be valuable to maybe dentists or real estate agents. It is extremely valuable to be able to have something that can essentially act as a full-time sales associate for you and book people in, reschedule, etc. So if you want to build this for yourself, I'll leave a link below in the second link, which will have all of the prompts and everything you need, the instructions to build this. And if you want to create your own AI agency like me and scale it to over 100k plus per month like we have done, then you can click the first link and join my AI community.